said, and then it provides confidence to consumers. Alright, so coming down to packaging processed fish, it's important that, number one, you use materials that protect the fish from moisture, from oxygen, from light. And the reason why it's important to use this kind of materials is because the light and the moisture and excess oxygen can lead to degradation and spoilage, which reduces the shelf life of the product. So if the product is supposed to last for say 6 months, if they are exposed to excess environmental condition, it reduces the shelf life. So maybe it's supposed to stay for 6 months, then it reduces to 3 months, 2 months, or even less than that. And so it's important that you use packages that are airtight to prevent moisture and light and all of these things from coming in. And then on your packaging, it's also important that you highlight the nutritional information so that people who want to try the product for the first time can know what they are getting before they even taste the product. And it's also important to use appealing colors. So if you want to sell a product, you don't just use any nylon that you get outside. It's also important to capture the attention of people with the packaging. And then when packaging a product, it's important to not package it excessively. So what that means is, if you're using a carton, there are some brands that by the time you want to unbox it, you're removing like 5-6 nylons before you get to the package, before you get to the product itself. So when you remove all of those things, you make sure that the environment is in a suitable condition and you remove all the excess waste. So now to consistency in branding and packaging, it's important that your branding is consistent. So what this means basically is that if you are using a logo today, tomorrow you don't come and say you want to use another logo. There is the part of rebranding where you can decide to like change the logo of your brand or anything. But then it's also important that you are consistent with the message that you're trying to pass across. So if you are communicating value today, ensure that every time that the customers see your products, they understand what you are communicating and they can be sure that that is what is going to be there. For packaging, it's possible that when you introduce your product to the market, people try it out for the first time. There are people that when they go to the market, they go with the nylon of the product that they want to buy. So when they get there, they are usually confused, especially when the packaging has been changed, because then they have to come and start looking for the same product. And then sometimes they can just decide to go for another product because they did not see the specific one that they are looking for. So that's where consistency is important. It's important that the message that you're passing across to the consumer is consistent, it's continuous, it remains the same. And then when there is a situation of rebranding, you also come back to the customers to reintroduce the product to them and make them understand that it is the same product that you are giving to them. And then in conclusion, effective packaging preserves the quality of the products that you are selling, and then you also communicate important messages. So it communicates the value of the products that you are selling, and then it establishes lasting customer relationship. So there are people who, like I said in the beginning, there are people who buy Ushi and buy different name brands, not exactly because it's comfortable for them, but because over time they have found value for the amount that they have spent on those products, and they like what they get, and that's what effective branding and packaging does. Thank you very much.
Panel of judges. The presenter, the media team, participants, right? Yeah, participants. Okay, the audience. Yes, good afternoon to you. Yes, as rightly said, I'm here for a different thing entirely. I didn't know this was going on. So when I came in and saw it, it was enticing, and I just had to come in. My brother here, Ogbe, had said the needful. You see, when we were growing up, secondary school, even tertiary institution, we didn't have the advantage of the internet. We have to be carrying piles of books about. And even if you have reference to a particular book, you need to be going from one library to the other or going from one bookshop to the other. You even leave your community, you leave your town sometimes. Sometimes you need to contact friends or relations in another state. I'm looking for so book, but in your time it's not like that. As a click on the internet, you get what you want to get. You get what you need. So, if our generation was intelligent, your own generation should be super intelligent because you have the whole world in your hand. You have the whole library in your hand. So, I want to advise you to make good use of it. As internet is there it's for the good, the bad, and the ugly. But it depends on your own focus. Like we rightly said that if you sign into the internet, you are signing it for everything. The beautiful ones, the one that will make your life better. You have the one that is distracting you. You have the evil there. So please, I want to implore you to go for the good. Don't get distracted. Distraction will not take you anywhere. It just lead to fantasy. You are looking at a musician, he is displaying dollars. In actual life, he is not there. It's just social media life. But because of that, some of you get deviated from the main purpose. And there's one thing that brings happiness in life. It's not the billions. It's not the amount of trendy attire to have in your wardrobe. It's living according to the purpose for which you are created. If you miss it, no matter the millions, that internal peace will be missing. So please just search for your purpose in life and stick by it. You are here for a purpose. Let's even assume that you went to the internet, you went to Google, you just do copy and paste. You have the time, sit down and read what you have copied and pasted. So that the knowledge will stick. The knowledge, it will come naturally. Okay, see the last presenter. At least I think I witnessed. This is the third person I'm witnessing. The presentation. I don't know those who have presented before I came, but I can bet you that she is the best for what I've seen. Because the knowledge was just coming naturally. She wasn't struggling with it. She just, look at the screen and what she had studied comes back, and she was just pouring it. So I would like to, those of you that are still, struggling to be up to standard, emulate her. And those of you that you feel, no, me, I will perform more than this. Congratulations, because I cannot judge you by her own performance. I don't know what you have in there. Well, I'm just speaking based on what I have seen. So please take life seriously. Don't take life too seriously. Don't take life too seriously in the sense that you are trying to measure up to a particular standard, you are still struggling with it. Don't lose focus. Don't get fed up that no, I can't make it. No. If you are doing that, it means that you are taking life too seriously. But whatever you have decided to do to better your life and to also impact the society positively. So please go for it and devote all your time and energy to it, and at the end it pays off. And God will be happy. Yes, I've created my own image, because the image of God improves on what God has created. But he or she who destroys what God has created is not an image of God, and it's not, that person might not be living according to God's purpose. So that's just my little advice for you, and I pray that God will
Okay, I'll hand over to Dr. Okpe and three other person because what she presented deserves commendation, and we can reference it. And what she just did, I can say she just rebranded your institution. Because it would have been so disheartening if mommy had not listened to her and she leaves and later she calls. I said, school only, you know. it will be a good one. And you can only sell a bad product once. Do you understand? And the way you behave in 100 level, if you are not careful, that's how you behave through your 400, 500 level in school. Because, and it's rare for you to see people that will tell you the truth. Like we are telling you, like what she has just done. And if you take it in good faith, there's the biggest room in the world is room for improvement. So you need to have a time of sober reflection on some of these things. It's because we want the best out of you guys. Where is the time now? Where is the time? But it's because we want to fulfill all righteousness. That's why we're giving our time to not to waste your time. So that when you go back home, go back to your institution, you can play back later in life that there was a time I stayed 3 months in said farms, and this is the result of it. Do you get what I'm saying? For those of you that have presented and we don't seem so happy with the presentation or we were disappointed, no. It depends on how you receive it. Every time it doesn't have to be sweet things. If you take too much of sweet things, you have jetty. That's how you have to balance it. That's how life is. Do you get it? So Moyo, thank you very much. She's in 400 level. Maybe that's why the maturity level is different. But the truth of the matter is, some of you that are 100 level, we know some of you that are very matured. There are some of you that have asked, how old are you? And they tell me they are, and I said, no, you should be older than that age you are telling me, because of how they compose and comport themselves. So everybody can always improve. My God, show God is this thinking? You are thinking about your life. No, it's good. Why are you telling me no? Think about your life. Emmanuel, show God. Wumi, you started very well, but you got distracted somehow. Don't get distracted. Should you go? So.
Whenever I